give it up for Mr. Jeff Staple. Hello, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you. And also, please give it up from the Fragment Design, Hiroshi Fujiwara. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And introducing once again your moderator from a street thing, give it up for Chewy. I have to introduce the moderator in the best way possible. Thank you, bro. Yeah, pass it on to you, Chewy. Let's go. Yeah.
Hey, my name is Jeff Staple. That's my body double, Chewy. Just kidding. For those of you who got it wrong, I'm Chewy, not Jeff Staple. So thank you for tagging me, Jeff Staple. It's a great honor. I know. Wow, today, what a space we have here. We have the whole group of legends sitting on this panel. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Hiroshi Fujiwara.
Hi, thank you. Hello, how are you?
Thank you. I'm so honored to be talking to three legends here. Thank you, Rishi-san. And of course, we have Jeff, my body double, my brother, all the way from LA, New York.
Thanks for having me.
Now, back to SneakerCon again. This is how many times back to SneakerCon?
SneakerCon, second SneakerCon, but Singapore many times. Yeah.
Amazing. And our hometown hero, Mr. Mark, my bro, Mr. Sabotage.
Hey everybody, hey.
Yeah. So, I think today the first topic we're going to talk about is sneaker still a relevant medium and influence in our current market? So for us, we're in SneakerCon, we see collaboration model, people talking about, wow, now if you get a collaboration, you get your name out there. Like, of course, Hiroshi-san got FRAGMENTdesign and all the collaboration in the early 2000s. People got to know the whole collaboration, through Nike and many collaborations. Same thing for Mark, like Sabotage, SBTG, SB, got the first hit. Same for like Pigeon Down, right? So that was the first big introduction, especially like for Mark, being in Singapore, smaller region, but made the name out there because of Nike collaboration. So I think let's start with Jeff, because Jeff, your first Pigeon Down, that's a famous story. People queue up for it. How did the first sneaker collaboration really make Staple or even your name take it to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, it was really important for my career at the time. But I think when the Pigeon Dunk first came out, actually it was still a very small amount of people. It was still a small subculture. It wasn't until year after year after year that people kept talking about it and telling stories about it that it kept growing organically. But I think the important thing to realize is that Nike doesn't just call anybody to do collaborations with. So people forget that you have to build up a certain career to even have Nike call you or recognize you. So when I did the Pigeon Dunk, Staple was already 2000. It was already like 8 years old, the brand. So I was already building something for 8 years, and then I think doing something with Nike helped it go from subculture to like mainstream big culture.
Hiroshi-san, what was the first FRAGMENTdesign collaboration?
I don't know if that was a collaboration or not, but Nike asked me to do something, but it was 90s, so not even before his stuff. So the first, and then we started with HTM, but the first HTM shoes, it was kind of hard to sell even 300 pairs. Yeah. So there's not many people really into sneakers at the time.
Real subculture.
Yeah, real subculture. Hiroshi-san, what was the first HTM model that you do? Air Force One?
Yeah, I think there was a three. Air Force One and Pirakimara and then more.
And HTM back in the days, only Japan exclusive, right? In the beginning.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Maybe some in London, maybe?
Yeah, Foot Patrol.
Did you guys get it in New York or not really?
I'm not sure.
No, actually, I have a question. Did you work on anything to do with COJP stuff?
COJP,
Nike? Yeah. Did you help out something?
Yeah, for the beginning.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
the HTM.
Yeah, so this is before HTM. That's how I met Hiroshi.
because I was talking to Nike Japan. They were explaining to me the CO.JP collection, and then they said you should meet Hiroshi because he helps us sometimes with it.
And for Mark, you know, like how did the first collaboration, especially a sneak collaboration, take your name outside of Singapore or outside of Asia?
I mean, that call from Nike in 2004, I already started customizing shoes for 2 years. So like what me and Jeff were saying, that was like our sampling room, our sampling process. And that caught the attention, and I had to keep the secret. It's the first time to have my name on a pair of shoes, because I wanted to be like Mike. To have the name on a pair of Nike shoes, right? And when that happened, I realized that it wasn't just for me, it was for Southeast Asia, it was for Singapore. It put us on the map, right?
For Asia, man.
Like Japan has already been doing it, the US has already been doing it, these two gentlemen have been doing it before me. And I felt like I was doing what they were doing. I felt like I was part of the conversation, and it started to impact the whole region, and everyone feels like they are part of this subculture as well. So I think that's what it did more than it was for me.
Did you do a sneaker with a brand before the Nike?
No.
Right, Nike. I think that's really shocking. Is that Nike is so good at finding the right person to work with. You know, he never worked with a sneaker brand before. Nike was the first one, and I think for me too, Nike was the first brand. You know, and actually for you too, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Not bad.
Hiroshi-san, back in the days, the first HTM, how much process you have to put into making a collaboration? Is it more simple?
I was enjoying visiting Nike headquarters, so my contract was actually go there for 3 times a year. So I go there about 3 times a year and talk to Tinker. I will always like to visit Tinker and his kitchen and see what's new and what is going.
Innovation
kitchen. But that was really the early 2000s. So yeah, nothing really happening. You know, not many people really interested in like sneakers so much.
And the process to do a collaboration didn't take so long time compared to now? Or do you think now it's faster for a collaboration? Meaning from day one, you walk into the room and decide on something. Does it take longer now versus back in the days?
I think it's kind of the same. If you have a Mark Parker behind you, it's going really fast.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Jeff, did you have a Mark Parker behind you when you did your staple down?
Almost as good. I had a guy named Jesse Leva. It was almost as good.
Wow.
Yeah. No. So
How long did it take? Like
usually it's like 18 to 24 months. But the interesting story is the time between the black pigeon and the panda pigeon, those two shoes, was only 10 months. Like from the moment I said, let's do the panda pigeon, it took 10 months for it to come out. So if they want to really push it, they can do it. You know, they don't like to do it. But yeah, I remember the first time I went to Beaverton, it was like a dream come true.
All right.
You know, it was all amazing. Like, cause I used to go to Nike Town, the store, and Nike Town, they build it to look like Beaverton, but not quite. But then when you go to Beaverton, it's like, wow, this is like really the Magic Kingdom, you know?
How long did you take, Mark, to finish? I know your story, but why don't you share it for your SBTG down SB?
It was about a year. So we had very good people who wanted to change the game within Nike itself. I guess Nike likes to employ people who push boundaries and stuff, and they were scouting out new talents. And I happened to get the call, and it was interestingly they brought up your name. He said they put 2 projects on the table, Nike SB and Nike Considered, and they said Nike Considered has something to do with you.
I had no idea. Really?
I didn't have any idea.
Who are you working with? Can you say the name?
I was working with Anne, and I can't pronounce the last name, and Dennis Tan.
Okay. Was it with SB team or Nike? Like
No, it was just Nike Southeast Asia.
wow.
Yeah. I chose SB because I skate, so that resonated with me so much. Nike Considered looked like it was from the future.
Yeah.
I think they have a whole plan to release the shoes, like coming 2 years. So it's really difficult to squeeze in to the like.
Yeah.
I really want to release next summer, but it's kind of impossible because they have program.
So you know who Bryce Wong is? Bryce Wong used to be a Nike SB designer. He designed the Chunky Monkey, Grateful Dead, like the glow in the dark. He designed a lot of great SBs. He's amazing. And he was working under Jesse Leva when they said, let's make the Panda Pigeon. And Jesse Leva said, this has to be done in 10 months. And he said, because I didn't meet him yet, he said when he told me that, I hated you, Jeff. He's like, because I thought you were forcing us to do it in 10 months. And then I met him later, I was like, I wasn't the one forcing it. Nike wanted to just rush it. They're like, oh, the whole team really was mad at you for like rushing. I was like, it wasn't me, I swear. So, but Hiroshi's right. Once they have the plan, it's when you want to put something in it, like messes up everybody's schedule, you know?
Nike SB is really independent, like outsider. So you can do whatever.
You could do, more flexibility, yeah.
But Hiroshi-san, when did you meet Jeff actually? Like what brought you guys together?
He came to my door like suddenly.
Did you knock on the door?
I can't remember, is that 90s or
1998. Yeah.
You really knock on the door like Hiroshi-san? Are you at home?
Yeah.
I think he gave me the key code. You gave me the password. He said just type in this number and then I just went up.
I'm sure you still remember the key code.
I do, but he's not in there anymore, so it doesn't.
I actually gave my key last night to him. He came to my room.
Okay.
We are, that kind of thing.
That close. After dinner, yeah.
It's a secret.
Behind closed doors. Okay, jokes aside, do you guys think sneakers is still the medium of influence in 2024? Hiroshi-san.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe the value is going down, but I still wear sneakers. I still like to do some work for sneakers. Yeah. I
What
think there's
kind of work do you like to do now versus 20 years ago? You know, it's a very different.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, but I don't like too many customization, so I want to keep it simple. But it's really difficult to do a simple sneaker also, but I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think it's very influential because, like, if anybody in here is barefoot right now, please raise your hand, right? Everyone has shoes on right now, so like Hiroshi said, even if you pick something very simple or very technical, you can express yourself with sneakers still, you know? Every day, you have to make this decision every morning. You wake up, what am I gonna wear? Which one am I gonna go with?
Yeah,
So
right.
it's definitely still everyday influential.
Mark?
Yeah, I think that sneakers were when we started, when Hiroshi-san started, when we started, it was like an underground punk band, and now it's like a mainstream rap artist. So it's even bigger than before, and they are like one of the best vehicles to tell stories and to share our culture.
I miss we were talking about it yesterday in the interview, I miss the punk rock feeling of sneaker culture, right? Used to feel like punk. Now it's like Taylor Swift.
Definitely like Taylor Swift.
How do you tweak it? Like Hiroshi-san said, he likes to make something more simple and sophisticated now. But how about you, Jeff? Like, what design approach you have now versus when you design pigeons on, you know, like now I'm sure you changed, right?
Yeah.
How do you approach a sneaker design or collaboration now?
A lot of times I think of it like the weatherman. You know, like I'm reading the weather, and the weather is like the trend of the world and what's going on. So like, and then, you know, because you have to make the shoe 1 year in advance, you're trying to predict what the weather is going to be like a year later. And so I'm trying to make something for that. So the answer is always changing. Sometimes it's do something simple, sometimes it's do something crazy, sometimes it's do something really, really limited, and sometimes it's do something available everywhere, you know, so it's always fluctuating.
Mark?
The design show, I like to approach it with a conversation with my friends. So what do my friends like to wear? So because you have to represent it wholeheartedly, right? So if your friends like to wear it, I think you're doing the first step right, because we are influential in our own city, in our own region, and all that. So first and foremost, I like to do that. And if I was given a silhouette that was really technical, I would try to make it look very organic. So So try to make it look the opposite of what it's supposed to look like. So it throws people off and catches the attention a little bit.
Hiroshi-san, do you have new approach to, because it cannot get more simple than simple, right? Yeah. So how do you challenge yourself? Let's make it more simple.
Some people think, oh, it's again, you just change the color, change the color of the swoosh or whatever. But just change a little bit, it makes a lot different. And some people really understand, and some people not. And I am happy to make the shoes for my friends who understand, like small little people. That's what I do. So I don't really mind.
And it's very Japanese, right? Like Japanese have the eye for detail.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you approach your design, right?
It's like people who say sushi is just fish on rice. It's not that easy.
Exactly the same, like different, right? And Jeff, do you practice the same thing? Like, do you think you make your design and collaboration a little bit more simple these days?
No, because I'm not Japanese, right? So I'm from New Jersey. New Jersey is very different than Tokyo.
Shout out, Ong.
But and no matter how much I try to make myself globally taste, New Jersey and New York is so embedded in me. I can't get rid of it, And so that flavor of growing up in the 90s in New York City and New Jersey will always come into my designs a little bit. And to be honest, sometimes I hate myself for it. I do. Sometimes I design something and then I look at it, I'm like, why did I do that? I can't get rid of the America in me, but I am an American, so I can't stop it.
But I like that now that you put your culture, like with your Puma collab, I think that storytelling probably means a lot more. As of course, we are Chinese by descent, right? So is that another approach of you using your power, so to say, to tell the cultural story?
Yeah, that's called leaning in. So if I did the Year of the Dragon collection with Puma, it's like I'm leaning into my heritage versus I don't want to do it like my heritage. I want to try something different, So with that project, I was totally all in on being who I am.
For Mark, you're rocking Kanki. I'm rocking Kanki. Kanki is an Indonesian brand, and Indonesian footwear is making a big presence. It's crazy, right? So you are taking a different approach from Hiroshi-san and Jeff. That you're working with smaller independent brands. What's that side of the story?
I always say evolve beyond your surroundings. That's my philosophy and approach. And I would like to look into, the region. And I feel that I've already done some stuff with international brands. I've proven myself for myself already, and I see that there's a purpose beyond, just designing cool sneakers with big brands. And the smaller brands have a voice too. And I feel that the duty right now is to build that within Southeast Asia, and the goal is to have other regions like the West look at us, because we have been looking out far for a long time, and I want to do the opposite. So working with Kanki, they are a really small family business, and you get to feel the heart. It's not every time you get to feel the heart of the brand. You don't have that opportunity every time, and I'm really happy with Kanki.
And for other collaboration, everyone here has done beyond sneakers collaboration. So Hiroshi-san, how do you choose a brand outside of a sneaker brand, outside of Nike, to do a collaboration? Is it because same thing if you like a brand, then you say yes, I'll do a collaboration? Is that what your personal preference for the brand?
Yeah, for me, I think I have to know them, and I have to know the person who run for the companies. So that's when we start basically. I work with personality and persons, not for the company.
More important is the person behind the brand. How about you, Jeff? How do you choose a brand that you want to collaborate beyond sneakers?
Yeah, same. I learned that from Hiroshi. It's the relationship is really important. Many times I've worked with a brand and the people at the brand, and even though the project is going very well, if the people leave, then I don't want to really work with the brand anymore. It changes it. So the people's more important than the brand.
How do you change your approach when you sneakers is one kind of medium, like another. So when you do a collaboration with non-sneakers, do you apply the same design, approach, or like a totally different?
I do it the same, but I have more fun designing not sneakers, because I learn more. Like if I'm designing, let's say, a car, then I have to talk to the car designer and learn about what the details are of making the car, and then I'm learning stuff. So it's more interesting for me as a collaboration,
Hiroshi-san, is the same for you too? If you do like a different, not a sneakers, do you use a different mind to?
Yes, and also I don't really design from the scratch. I do more kind of like customize. So it's good to know what they are doing. Besides, as he says, I get more information when I work for the other companies or other functions.
Mark?
I like both of them said, you want to know, have a relationship with the person from the company first. That being said, I have two questions, two criteria. Do I get to be me? Do they allow me to be me so that I can fully express myself? And will this project make an impact for the region, for myself, for my career, all that. So these two questions are very important to me.
That's cool.
What is the most fun collaboration project you enjoy the most, Hiroshi-san? That always memorable, you think, wow, this is one of my favorite collaboration projects.
Me? Maybe, I should say the Nike, the first one, where Jordan was the campaigns because I kind of start doing the collaboration with Nike.
Always the most fun and memorable one.
I think so.
Yeah?
I still think so.
I think it wasn't really a collaboration, but maybe the most fun for me was my store Read Space, which was fun because every day is a collaboration. I'm working with so many different brands and musicians and stuff. It was the least money making, but the most fun. That's usually the way it is too. Like the more fun, the least money.
Mark?
Funny you brought up Read Space. My brand, which was called Royal Fam back then, was in Read Space, like early 2000s. So that was a long time. Brought back memories. Most memorable, I don't know. I always kind of like pour my heart out to every present project. So my favorite is always the latest one. Yeah, the latest one. So, just feed off the energy, and when it's time to present it, you have all the visual things come to fruition, and when you see that is the best feeling in the world.
We talk about the good ones. How about the bad ones? Have you ever done anything that you're like, oh my god, what did I do? Jeff, I see you telling me first. No,
He has too many to talk.
too many. Your answers all over your Facebook.
I'm making a new book of all the worst collaborations.
Even Hiroshi-san knows you have.
We both can make.
Oh man.
Oh, you don't have to name names like, like.
There's been some collaborations that like were more than 50 or 75% done, and it gets killed, and those hurt me a bit because it's like, wow, we put in so much work and time, and it just died. Yeah.
Hiroshi-san.
It's happened sometimes, but I don't really remember. So that's fine for me. I just forget about the things.
Yeah.
I just always remember.
Hiroshi-san, is it important to forget about certain things?
Yeah, I think so.
Delete them.
I always forget his name.
His name is Chewy. Hiroshi-san,
I remember now.
Mark, how do you deal with the bad ones, man?
Delete. Like just select all, delete, and move on to the next one because it's inefficient to store the bad emotions in your body because it affects the things that you do, and the worst of all is it affects the people around you as well. So you go through a session like me and you, we go to the convenience, we buy a beer, bitch a little bit, delete, and move on.
And what is the future of collaboration? After we have like sneakers, Hiroshi-san, do you think, like I hear Jeff talk about Web3 all the time, something digital, NFT. Do you think there is an influence in that world of digital?
Yeah, I think so.
Then what do you think like is there, do you have a prediction like the future could be maybe like a, I don't know, like a Web3 version of Hiroshi Fujiwara?
No, I don't know. I don't see the future. Yeah, no future is my wife, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, the future of collaboration, you asked, right?
Future medium, like what do you see, like what kind of beyond material, you know?
Right. I mean, I've been experimenting a lot with like 3D printing shoes, and we have a 3D printed shoe coming very, very soon. I do think the future is going to be like, this is because of the environment too, just like environmental reasons. You know, you walk into a sneaker store now, and in the back they have like hundreds of shoes, and then you say I'm a size 10, and then they find it. But I think in the future it's going to be like, here's our designs, they measure you, and then they just print your shoe, and then there's no inventory and no stock. We're going to get to that technology definitely in the next 5 years. I'll bet anybody any amount of money that in 5 years you can wait less than 1 hour and get a shoe printed. Yeah, because I'm doing it like this year. It takes maybe like 1 day. So definitely in 5 years it'll take minutes.
Can you make all those pigeon dunks again? 4 pairs.
Is that all one material? But you can do like a rubber and fabric.
So it used to be 1. Now this year they can now do like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So soon it's advancing so fast.
Crazy, yeah.
Like the shoes, a lot of shoes that Pharrell did for Louis Vuitton show were 3D printed, that the models were wearing down the runway. It's really cool.
Mark, what do you think? Like they're talking about the future.
It's a difficult question.
Mark just wants to skateboard.
I want to skate, I want to play basketball. That gives me energy to do the next thing. But I realized that the world of sneaker customization has taken another level where you don't really need to make the physical shoe anymore. You just do Photoshop mock-up. And that has like reaction. It doesn't need to be real anymore. So like, wow, it's crazy. Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
And let's talk a little bit more about the influence. Now, people talk about the world of KOL, you know, key opinion leader, whatever you call them, influencers. You know, one time I always remember hearing from Jeff. I don't remember whether it was a podcast or Complex Home, something like that. Then I think there was like 2 years ago you talked about, in the near future, I guarantee in every sports brand will be a department for entertainers. Do you remember talking about
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, like
that was right.
Now to replace the athlete, remember? So we talk about like, meaning you were saying sports marketing one day eventually will evolve into, you know, Nike calls it athletes now, right? KOL, whatever you want to call them. So you were talking about like, one day that department would exist because sports brand will start to sign like rappers and entertainers, right? Yeah. So I think that day has come, don't you think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's a, why is that a
Because the whole company is now thinking about, how do I get a rapper to wear my sneaker now? They're not thinking about the next athlete. They're thinking about just entertainment marketing, that's it. Yeah, that's probably, I mean, even the Nike CEO said, we lack innovation. He literally said that word for word. So even he knows that like we need to get back on the innovation wagon.
How do you think a brand like Nike could, I mean, of course, we're not from Nike, but how do they get back on
He's from Nike.
Yeah, Hiroshi's not What do you think Nike can get back on innovation?
Well, I think innovation is very important, but as you say, like I should say, influencer is things people think important, but you really have to think about. You can make a shoes which has influence people, you know, not the people wear it. Right. Shoes itself should have an influence.
The shoes,
like the early, like I should say, like early Jordan 1st. Like 1985, you guys don't know what's happening, but I've seen, you know, before the Jordan 1, just like Converse or Superstars, right? And I see that kind of good design shoes, and all of a sudden, rappers wearing it, punk rock guys wearing it, skateboarders wearing it. Why they wearing all the same shoes? That was the Jordan 1. And that was the only one design basketball shoes new. So that was kind of influence people, everyone. The shoes had a power to influence, I mean, you know, inform for everything.
Amazing. The shoe should influence the people,
Yeah,
not the other way around.
I think so.
Wow, that's yeah. And do you think any brand could do it with the shoe influencing the people over people influencing the shoe, Jeff?
Yeah, I do. I think that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened in sneaker culture in the past 5 years, is that any brand can do it now. It used to be like, oh, is it Nike or Adidas is gonna win, right? But I think when you see Crocs, On Running, Hoka, Salomon, all these brands are like, everyone has like a chance now. That's the most exciting thing, right, about sneaker culture. So even when you talk about your brand, like, any brand has a chance.
Any brand has a chance.
I remember 5 years ago, if you wore Crocs, everyone's making fun of you, right? And there's so many people wearing Crocs here at the SneakerCon.
It's really inclusive right now. Like everyone has a chance now, and there's no dominant brand anymore, like predominant culturally. And I'm really happy, you know, like it's fair play now.
So do you guys think a smaller brand is more punk rock and can shake the culture a little bit more? Punk rock.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Hiroshi-san, do you think a smaller brand, like a sneaker brand, can they make more noise with the current consumer? Or do you still need a giant brand like Nike or Adidas to shake it a little bit?
Yeah, if the company has an attitude, you know, some company wanna just make money, or some companies wanna make a culture. So it's really depends on what they do, what they stand for.
And for the last question, we are all, I mean, starting from me, I'm getting old, man. I mean, all you guys are getting to a certain age. What is next for legends like you guys? Like, what is your role that you think you can play for the next generation of sneakers consumer? Like, you know, Hiroshi-san.
I think the sneakers continue, like Asi said, you have to wear every day. So that's kind of your turn now. You know, we are kind of disappear, retires, whatever. So yeah, that's your time.
I love meeting really young kids, especially at conferences like this. Like, I meet kids that are like 8, 9 years old, and I assume when we were like 8 to 10 years old, we never thought we could be designing sneakers. That wasn't a career choice. But I think now when a kid is walking around here and he sees like, wow, I could be Mark or I could be Hiroshi, and he gets started when he's 12, wow, that's going to be crazy. I think there's going to be like 1,000 Tinker Hatfields in the next generation, whereas in our generation there was only one Tinker. But next generation, there's going to be so many amazing footwear people.
It's like the NBA, like everyone is like athletically gifted right now compared to before. They were like butchers or plumbers and stuff, and now everybody could fly, right?
And Jeff, like, how do you play that mentor role to the new generation? What do you think you can use with your power of influence? You know, how do you educate the next generation?
I don't think my power is influence. I think my power is I can tell a good story. You know, like Hiroshi said, like maybe my best trait is that I'm a good editor, and I can like tell a good editing story. So I think that's what I want to do is like take the stories that I learn and then share them with the world somehow.
How about you, Mark? Like, what do you think as a mentor? Like, how can you share your knowledge? Like he makes a good editor, like he's a storyteller. What do you think you can do to help the new? Using your influence.
I think one of the traits that I'm good at and I like to teach, it's attributed to skateboarding. We always try to learn a trick, but we are never afraid of failure. So what I like to teach is to be a friend of failure, because you fail 10 times, and the next time you succeed. It's a byproduct. So that's what I want to teach.
You make all the shots that you don't take.
Exactly.
Great. So we're going to open up the floor for people to ask 3 questions. Is that okay? Yeah. 3 questions. So if you guys got any question for any one of them here, just show up. Yeah.
Hello guys, I'm Mate from Singapore. Okay, my question would be like, why has there not been Nike SB Retro, especially like Mr. Staples pair and Mr. Sabotage pair? And like, okay, the second one would be like,
He doesn't get 3, right?
Okay. We just stick to one. Okay.
Wait, so you asked me the question?
Or I think both of you, like, why don't they retro like a pigeon down or SBTG down as me?
Well, I mean, for me, we talked about it and we both agreed to not do it. So that's easy. You know, we decided we should leave the OG as like a very special thing in culture. And then that's why we came out with the black one. And then when we decided to work again, that's why we came out with the panda one. So it's like an evolution, you know. Now there's like a series without, I don't know if the word is bastardizing the original, but the original just keeps being more and more special, you know.
Wow.
It's like the 85. I only wear the 85 Jordan ones. I don't want to wear the new ones. Kind of like the same effect, I guess. But I didn't have the opportunity. Yeah, to be really blunt. We've been trying, Mandy's been trying for years and years, and we didn't have the opportunity. And I think we're really lucky to have the first one.
1985. Second question, come on. Let's go, bro. Say your name and where you come from.
Hello everyone. I'm Emil. I'm from the Philippines. I do have a local streetwear brand. So my question is, how do I open my doors to the international market? Because I do want my brand to go international. I've been in the brand for 12 years, my brother and I. But I would like to further elevate my brand to be known in the international market. So can you help me out?
We need Gary V on stage. Jeff?
It's I mean, it is challenging, but you know, my brand is a brand born from New Jersey, raised in New York, and then I managed to get the brand into Tokyo or London or South Africa. You know, so all of us, no matter where we're from, have to jump to like get to some other part of the world. You know, I do recognize that some countries and cities have a harder time than others, right? New York, LA, Tokyo is maybe more established. But that also means we have way more competition. So there's 10,000 brands in New York and LA. I don't know how many brands in the Philippines are coming out, but I imagine not 10,000. You know, so while you have a harder time from the country, you have more opportunity because you can make more of a noise. You know, like I always think about like Drake, the rapper, right? Like, how did he go to the world from Toronto? Like, no one was looking for a Canadian rapper, but there was no other rappers coming out of Toronto. There's only one, so he just had to do it, you know, so just do it.
Just do it. Mark?
Find your niche and find your tribe from different cities. Hang out, do pop-ups for each other, cross-culture, you know, all that stuff.
Elaborate, right?
And maintain the relationship even though you're not doing something for a few years. Revisit them, you know, hang out, have beer, you know, stuff like that, like be natural and like, I guess just enjoy the journey. Don't look at it as a destination. I have to achieve this now, because things happen, you know, whether you like it or not. If you're enjoying the journey, you're not so focused or not as disappointed if you don't achieve it at the same time. And in a short time, is what I mean.
Hiroshi-san, any advice for a new brand?
I think you just keep doing what you're doing. You know, you have to make the things you really enjoy. You have to have you have
Passion.
passion. And then you don't really have to care about international things so much. If you keep doing what you want to do, maybe some people want to pick you up.
Last question, yeah. Say your name, where you come from, and your question. Come on.
Hi, thank you. My name is June. We are from Thailand. We are street culture media in Thailand. So, Hiroshi, konbanwa. I would like to ask you some questions. First, can you like, because you're the OG one, my brother really like appreciate you a lot. My brother love you a lot. So he would like to know that is it possible for you to forecast the trends for the trends of the streetwear maybe, and also the next question would be if you can compare yourself, Hiroshi last version and today version, what would it be? Like what's the difference? And also forecast the trends.
For myself, when I was young and when like now.
Yeah, and also forecast the
Right.
trends for streetwear.
For me, it's kind of same. I think it's same. When I was young, I was really enjoying to hang out with older people, like designers, famous designers. I was really happy to meet those people. But now, I'm so happy to meet younger kids who have the talent. So kind of, I feel the same. Yeah.
And she asked, do you have like a prediction for the trend in the future?
No, I don't.
I want to add one more thing for Hiroshi-san. I'm very curious about Fragment University. Yeah, can maybe you can, I mean, me and Mark, we talked about, wow, very interesting, because we met Shitano-san from Weezy. He said he went to your lecture. Can you share what is Fragment University? Jeff, you know this?
I know everything.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's like I'm teaching teaching student what, not really what I did, what I think it's interesting. That I want to share the things I think it's interesting. Not what I did. Sometimes I have to tell what I did, but more interesting for me is what I think is good, what I feel now.
And how do you sign up for Fragment University? Lucky draw? Like a raffle?
No, you have to write yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna write it. And sign off as Jeff Staple. Okay, I think that's it for everybody.
All right,
thank you Hiroshi-san, thank you Jeff, thank you
Thank you so
Mark.
much.
I think we're gonna take a photo.